Okay, this video is for computer applications, and we're going to be talking about the lesson called Save the Parade Business Letter. So what's the point of this assignment? It is to teach you the proper formatting of a business letter. Business letters are formatted quite differently from your English papers that you've turned in the past. So we're going to go ahead and click on here. This is the assignment, and it gives an example of business letters. Then we're going to open this guy up. So here's our set of instructions. And when you scroll down, here is a business letter that's written to you, your small business that you made your business card for. You're pretending like you're a small business owner, and you received this letter. Now, we put these little call-out boxes to explain what each component of a business letter is. First thing, notice how we didn't indent in the left. So it's called block style formatting, meaning you don't indent anything. Everything's up against the left margin. Whenever you start a new paragraph, you do not indent. How does the reader know that it's a new paragraph? Well, because you double space between paragraphs. And everything else is single spaced. Each component has single spacing within it. Then between components, there's a certain number of spaces you have to have. So for example, here's the return address. What does return address mean? That would be who's sending the letter. So the first thing the reader sees when they open this up out of the envelope, they open it up and they go, who's sending this? Oh, and there's their address. So Coronado High School just sent me a letter. Here's their address, the date that they wrote the letter, and then who are they sending it to? That's what we call the addressee, the inside address, and that's who the letter is being sent to. So this is the address that you would have seen. That's on the front of the envelope of who it's being sent to. And then here, dear so-and-so, that's a salutation. First paragraph always consists of, why am I contacting you? You're explaining, why am I contacting you? And in this case, they say, we'd like to thank you for your support for the Westside community at Coronado High School. This is a follow-up letter to confirm your participation in our homecoming parade on Colorado Avenue coming up this October. So they're telling you why they're contacting you, because they expect you've given them indication that you're going to participate in the parade in some way, and in this case, financially to help them raise money. Then, what specifically are they asking? And that's what this is, the middle paragraph. And then the last paragraph would be, how can they contact you? So if you look up here in the instructions, Miss Brandt typed this up nicely, where it gives you exactly what each paragraph should be. So a business letter should have a minimum of 3 paragraphs. Sometimes it's more than that, but at least 3. First one, why are they writing? Second one, or why are you writing them? So what's the subject matter? What is it you're writing to them for? Then the second paragraph, getting down to the nitty-gritty. What exactly are you going to do? And then the third paragraph is closing paragraph that says, here's how you may contact me. Okay? So you're required to have all 3. Your business letter is going to be formatted just like this, where you have the spacing looks just like this. Everything's up against the left margin. And then here's an example of a student letter return. And this would be a good one for you guys to look at, because you want yours to look like this before you submit it to us. What do I mean by look like this? It means you've got the return address. That's your company. In this case, this girl's, let's see, Riley's business was Dream Big Little One Babysitting. And then there's her, pretend she just made up an address for her company. Here's her date when she wrote the letter. So you're just going to use today's date when you write it. Then double space. Then the addressee, the return address. This is addressee. This is who you're sending the letter to. That would be the one that's on the envelope, on the front of the envelope. Then your salutation, first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph, and complimentary close. Okay, so I've got one here that I want to show you a tip. So here's another one, but I want to show you what it looked like before I had it formatted properly. I'm going to go back to normal. One thing about Microsoft Word that's a little strange that I don't like is by default, when I'm typing in paragraphs, I hit enter. Every time I hit enter, I'm like, dang it, I don't want those. It keeps double spacing every time I hit enter. I want single space. So I'm just going to get rid of that junk. So if I highlight this that I want single spaced, I just go up here and say no spacing. Bring it back to a no format on there. So if you want to do the entire letter, what you guys are going to do is you're just going to click at the very beginning, hit no spacing, and as you type, it should look like this. But since I've already have this one all typed out, I'm going to do a Control A for all, highlight all of my work area, everything that's been typed on, and hit no space. And now it looks better. Now, if it was like this, and I wouldn't have known where to put the space, you'd say, Mr. G, I forgot how do I need a space after the date, after you're typing. You're like, I'm not sure. Well, that's why you go back to Miss Brandt's instruction letter. And you look at this. And you go, okay, oh, there's 3 spaces in between, which means I had to hit 4 enter keys after the date up here. So, and then right here there's a double space, double space. So, okay, if I'm sitting here, I've already hit 1, 2, 3. There's 4. You can either have 3 or 4. That would be appropriate, but we just don't want it to be double spaced. It needs to be more, either that many or 1 more. So either one of those is fine. Just needs to have a little bit bigger space because it's got the date above it. And the reason that sets all by itself is that's the return address. Then this one is just a double, so 1, 2, 1, 2. So that makes it, see, now it's looking good. This one has 1 in between the paragraphs, 1 here, and then when you're sitting here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's quadruple space. Even though there's only 3 spaces in there, we call it a quadruple space because it means how many times did you have to hit enter to get down to the line that you're going to type, the next line you're going to type. All right, and that's a properly formatted letter, and that's what you're going to turn in to Miss. Oops, I made one mistake. Right there, needed another space before that 3rd paragraph. And that's what you're going to submit. Save that guy and submit it so it looks just like that. That's it for the video.